Then the Lord said to Moses, Still one plague I will bring upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt, and after these things he will send you away from here. Now whenever he sends you away, with everything he will expel you with expulsion. Speak then secretly to the ears of the people, and let each one ask from his neighbor, and a woman from her neighbor, silver and gold articles and clothing. Now the Lord gave favor to his people before the Egyptians, and they supplied them. And the man Moses became very great before the Egyptians, and before Pharaoh, and before all his attendants. And Moses said, This is what the Lord says, Around midnight I am going to enter into the midst of Egypt, and every firstborn in the land Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits on the throne, to the firstborn of the female slave by the millstone, and to the firstborn of every animal. And there will be a great cry throughout the whole land of Egypt, such as has not been and such as will not again be repeated. But among all the sons of Israel, a dog will not snarl with his tongue from human being to animal, in order that you might know by what means the Lord shall distinguish gloriously between the Egyptians and Israel. And all these servants of yours shall come down to me and do obeisance before me, saying, Leave, you and all your people, whom you are leading away, and after these things I will go out. Then Moses went out from Pharaoh with wrath. Then the Lord said to Moses, Pharaoh will not listen to you, in order that I may multiply my signs and wonders in the land Egypt. So Moses and Aaron did all these signs and wonders in the land Egypt, before Pharaoh. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he was unwilling to send away the sons of Israel from the land of Egypt. Then the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron in the land Egypt, saying, This month shall be for you the beginning of months. It is the first for you among the months of the year. Speak to the whole congregation of the sons of Israel, saying, On the 10th of this month let them take, each person, a sheep according to the paternal houses, a sheep for each household. But if those in the household are too few, so that they are not enough for a sheep, he shall join with himself his nearby neighbor, according to the number of souls. You, each one, shall number together that which is sufficient for a sheep. You shall have a perfect sheep, a 1-year-old male. You shall take from the lambs and kids, and it shall be kept for you until the 14th of this month. And all the multitude of the congregation of the sons of Israel shall slay it towards evening. And they shall take some of the blood, and shall put it on the 2 doorposts, and on the lintel in the houses, whichever they eat them in. And they shall eat the meat that night, roasted in fire, and they shall eat unleavened bread with bitter herbs. You shall not eat from it raw or boiled in water, but rather roasted in fire, head with the feet and inner organs. You shall not leave any of it until morning, and you shall not break a bone of it. But that which remains from it until morning you shall burn with fire. Now in this way you shall eat it, your loins girded, and your sandals on your feet, and your staves in your hands. And you shall eat it with haste. It is the Lord's Pascha. And I will pass through in the land Egypt on this night, and I will strike down every firstborn in the land Egypt, from human being to animal. And on all the gods of the Egyptians I will execute vengeance. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be for you as a sign on the houses, there where you are, and I will see the blood, and I will protect you, and there shall not be a plague among you to destroy, whenever I strike in the land Egypt. And this day shall be a memorial for you, and you shall celebrate it as a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. You shall celebrate it as a perpetual precept. For 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, but from the first day you shall remove leaven from your houses. Everyone who ever eats leaven, that soul shall be destroyed from Israel, from the first day until the 7th day. And the first day shall be called holy, and the 7th day shall be designated holy for you. No work of service shall be done on them, except what shall be done for every soul. This only shall be done for you. And you shall keep this commandment, for on this day I will bring your host out of the land of Egypt. And you shall make this day throughout your generations a perpetual precept. When the first month begins, on the 14th day, from the evening you shall eat unleavened bread, until the 21st day of the month, until the evening. For 7 days leaven shall not be found in your houses. Everyone who ever eats something leavened, that soul shall be destroyed from the congregation of Israel, both among the Gioras and the natives of the land. Anything leavened you shall not eat. In every habitation of yours you shall eat unleavened bread." Then Moses summoned the entire elders' council of Israel and said to them, "When you go away, take for yourselves a sheep according to your families, and sacrifice the pascha. And you shall take a bunch of hyssop, and dipping from the blood by the door, you shall also touch the lintel on both doorposts, from the blood that is by the door. But you, each one, shall not go out the door of his house until morning. And the Lord will pass by to strike the Egyptians, and he will see the blood upon the lintel and on both doorposts. And the Lord will pass by the door, and he will not allow the destroyer to enter into your houses to strike. And you shall keep this word as a precept for yourself and your sons forever. Now when you come into the land, whichever the Lord gives you, according as he said, you shall observe this service. And it shall be, if your sons shall say to you, 'What is this service?' then you shall say to them, 'This pascha is a sacrifice to the Lord, who protected the houses of the sons of Israel in Egypt, when he struck the Egyptians, but our houses he preserved.' And the people bent down and did obeisance. And when they went away, the sons of Israel did as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron, so they did. Now it happened during the middle of the night, that the Lord struck every firstborn in the land, Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits upon the throne, to the firstborn of the female captive who is in the pit, even to the firstborn of every animal. And Pharaoh arose during the night, and all his attendants, and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in all the land of Egypt. For there was not a house which had no dead person in it. And Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron during the night, and he said to them, "Arise, and go out from my people, both you and the sons of Israel. Go, serve the Lord your God according as you say. Take both your sheep and cattle, and get going, but bless me too." And the Egyptians were forcing the people to throw them out of the land quickly, for they said, "We are all dying." Now the people took the dough before it was leavened, their kneaded mixtures wrapped in their clothes on their shoulders. And the sons of Israel did as Moses instructed them, and asked from the Egyptians silver and gold articles and clothing. And the Lord gave favor to his people before the Egyptians, and they supplied them, and they plundered the Egyptians. Now the sons of Israel marched from Ramesses to Sochotha. The men were about 600,000 foot soldiers, apart from the chattels. And a great mixed crowd went up with them, and sheep and oxen, even a great many animals. And they baked the dough that they brought from Egypt, unleavened bread baked in ashes, for it was not leavened, for the Egyptians had thrown them out, and they were unable to remain, nor did they make provision for themselves for the journey. Now the residence of the sons of Israel during which they dwelt in the land Egypt, and in the land of Canaan, was 430 years. And it happened after 430 years, that all the host of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt during the night. It is a vigil for the Lord, so that he might bring them out of the land of Egypt. That night is this vigil for the Lord, so that it might be for all the sons of Israel throughout their generations. Then the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, "This is the law of the pascha. No alien shall eat of it, and every domestic of anyone or purchased slave you shall circumcise him, and then he shall eat of it. A resident alien or hired person shall not eat of it. In one house it shall be eaten. You shall not take any of the meat outside of the house, and you shall not break a bone of it. The entire congregation of the sons of Israel shall do this. But if any guest should draw near to you to keep the pascha to the Lord, you shall circumcise every male of his, and then he shall draw near to keep it. And he shall be like a native of the land. No uncircumcised person shall eat of it. There shall be one law for the local inhabitant, and for the guest among you who is drawn near." And the sons of Israel did just as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron for them, so they did. And it happened on that day the Lord brought the sons of Israel out of the land of Egypt, together with their host. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Consecrate to me every firstborn, first produced, opening every womb among the sons of Israel, from human being to animal. It is mine." Then Moses said to the people, "Keep remembering this day in which you came out of Egypt from a house of slavery, for by a mighty hand the Lord brought you out from there. And leaven shall not be eaten, for on this very day you are going out in the month of the new things. And it shall be, whenever the Lord your God brings you into the land of the Canaanites, the Kettites, the Hivites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, and the Jebusites, which he swore to your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey. You shall also perform this service in this month. For 6 days you shall eat unleavened bread, but on the 7th day there is the Lord's feast. Unleavened bread you shall eat for the 7 days. Anything leavened shall not be seen among you, nor shall you possess leaven in all your borders. And you shall tell your son on that day, saying, For this reason the Lord God acted for me when I was going out of Egypt. And it shall be a sign for you on your hand, and a memorial before your eyes, in order that the law of the Lord might be in your mouth. For with a mighty hand the Lord brought you out of Egypt. And you shall keep this law according to the times of the seasons from days to days. And it shall be, whenever the Lord your God brings you into the land of the Canaanites, in the manner which he swore to your fathers, and he gives it to you, you shall also set apart everything opening the womb, the males for the Lord, everything opening the womb from the herds or among your animals, whatever belongs to you, you shall consecrate the males to the Lord. Everything opening the womb of a donkey you shall exchange for a sheep. But if you do not make an exchange, you shall redeem it. Every firstborn of a human being among your sons you shall redeem. Now if your son should ask you afterward, saying, What is this? You shall also say to him, With a mighty hand the Lord brought us out of the land of Egypt, from a house of slavery. But when Pharaoh hardened against sending us away, he killed every firstborn in the land Egypt, from the firstborn of human beings to the firstborn of animals. Therefore I am sacrificing to the Lord everything that opens the womb, the males, and I will redeem every firstborn of my sons. And it shall be for a sign on your hand, and immovable before your eyes, for with a mighty hand the Lord brought you out of Egypt. Now when Pharaoh sent away the people, God did not lead them the way of the land of the Philistines, because it was near. For God said, Lest there be regret by the people when they see war and they return to Egypt. And God led the people a roundabout way towards the wilderness, towards the Red Sea. Now in the 5th generation the sons of Israel went up out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him. For Joseph made the sons of Israel swear an oath, saying, With a concern the Lord will concern himself with you, and you shall bring my bones there with you. Then the sons of Israel, when they departed from Succoth, camped at Otham, on the edge of the wilderness. Now God was leading them, by day by a pillar of cloud, to show them the way, but during the night by a pillar of fire. The pillar of cloud during the day, and the pillar of fire by night, did not depart from before all the people. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and when they turn back, let them camp opposite the village between Magdalos, and between the sea, opposite Baal-Zephon. Before them you shall camp by the sea. And Pharaoh will say to his people, These sons of Israel are wandering in the land, for the wilderness has closed in on them. Now I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will pursue after them, and I will be glorified in Pharaoh and in all his army, and all the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord. And they did so. And it was reported to the king of the Egyptians that the people had escaped, and the heart of Pharaoh and his attendants was turned against the people, and they said, What is this we have done, sending away the sons of Israel, so they are not subject to us? Then Pharaoh hitched up his chariots, and led away all his people together with him. And he took 600 choice chariots, and all the cavalry of the Egyptians, and the third-ranked officers over all of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the sons of Israel. Now the sons of Israel were leaving with a high hand, and the Egyptians pursued after them, and found them encamped by the sea. And all the cavalry and chariots of Pharaoh and the horsemen and his army were opposite the village, opposite Baal-Zephon. And Pharaoh advanced, and when they looked up, the sons of Israel saw with their eyes, and the Egyptians encamped behind them, and they were very afraid. Then the sons of Israel cried out to the Lord, and they said to Moses, Because there were not graves in the land of Egypt, did you bring us out to put us to death in this wilderness? What is this you have done to us, bringing us out of Egypt? Was this not the matter that we told you in Egypt, saying, Leave us alone in order that we might be subject to the Egyptians? For it was better for us to be subject to the Egyptians than to die in this wilderness. But Moses said to the people, Take courage, stand and see the deliverance from God that he will perform for you today. For as you have seen the Egyptians today, you shall not ever again see them time without end. The Lord will fight for you, and you will be quiet." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me? Speak to the sons of Israel, and let them break camp. And you raise your rod, and stretch out your hand over the sea, and break it apart, and let the sons of Israel enter into the midst of the sea on what was dry. And look, I will harden the heart of Pharaoh and all the Egyptians, and they will enter in after them. And I will be glorified in Pharaoh, and in all his army, and in his chariots, and in his horses. And all the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, as I am being glorified in Pharaoh, and in his chariots and his horses." Then the angel of God, who was going before the camp of the sons of Israel, rose up and went behind. Now the pillar of cloud also rose up from before them and stood behind them. And it went in between the camp of the Egyptians and between the camp of Israel. And there was darkness and gloom, and the night elapsed, and they did not mix together with one another during the whole night. But Moses stretched out the hand over the sea, and the Lord drew off the sea by a strong south wind during the whole night. And he made the sea dry, and the water was divided. And the sons of Israel entered into the midst of the sea on the dry ground, and the water became a wall for them on the right, and a wall on the left. Then the Egyptians pursued, and all the cavalry of Pharaoh and the chariots and the riders went in after them, into the midst of the sea. And it happened in the early morning watch that the Lord looked at the camp of the Egyptians in the pillar of fire and cloud, and he threw the camp of the Egyptians into disarray. And he bound together the axles of their chariots and led them violently. And the Egyptians said, "Let us flee from Israel, for the Lord fights the Egyptians for them." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the sea, and let the water return and cover up the Egyptians, both the chariots and the riders." So Moses stretched out the hand over the sea, and the water returned near day to its place. Now the Egyptians fled under the water, and the Lord shook off the Egyptians in the middle of the sea. And when the water had returned, it covered the chariots and riders, and all the host of Pharaoh that had entered after them, into the sea. Not even one of them remained. But the sons of Israel went across dry ground in the midst of the sea, and the water was for them a wall on the right and a wall on the left. And the Lord rescued Israel in that day from the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead along the shore of the sea. So Israel saw the great hand, which things the Lord had done to the Egyptians. And the people feared the Lord and trusted God and Moses, his attendant.